That new flash smell.
Nerd alert. Nerd alert.
Hi, this is Damien for DSLR Nerd, and tonight I'm going to do an unboxing and review of the Avantek electronic flash, TTL flash for Canon DSLR cameras. The nice folks at Avantek sent me this a couple of months ago, and I'm finally getting around with the holidays and a bout with the flu in getting this reviewed and unboxed. So thanks for your patience, Avantek. Let's check it out. Here's the box. It says Avantek. It's got a nice looking flash there on the front. Shows it swiveling around. Picture of the back. On the back then, product features. There's the product features. Did you get all those? All right. I'll read them for you real quick. TTL flash with large guide number, GN of 58, ISO at ISO 100, 105 millimeter. Automatically compatible to ETTL2 and ETTL and TTL flash for Canon. Supports exposure compensation, exposure bracketing, second curtain, AE lock, aperture preview, contrast enhanced flash, automatic focus function, so it does have like a focus assist. Supports wireless TTL flash, S1, S2 wireless trigger flash as well. Supports auto manual zooming. The flashlight covers a focal length range of 24 to 105 millimeter. Intelligent sound reminder system makes operation simple. Overheat protection function helps to prevent high temperature burn by rapid flash and also extended lifetime on the flash. Highly sensitive wireless sensor allows the camera to trigger the flash fires in the far distance. Okay. Standard external power socket, very good. Love those external power sockets. Standardized PC synchronous port. I don't know if anybody uses those PC ports anymore, but they can come in handy once in a while. Super speed charging recycles, takes 3 seconds to charge. CFN function, customized function, allows you to define the function of the flashlight according to your shooting habit. Power saving mode, automatic saving function, make the current setting to the flashlight saved LCD display. Super durable metal hot shoe standard. As I said, a guide number 58, compatible with Canon ETTL. 4 wireless channels in 3 groups. Cycle time 3 seconds. Color temperature 5800 Kelvin. So let's do that unboxing, shall we? I'm gonna gently cut the bit of tape back here. Inside, right off the bat, the Avantek electronic flash instructions. It does not say on the package, but this is the DF660. I thought that kind of interesting that there was no model number on the outside of the box. Information on the inside is the DF660. It's got warning features, function of the flash, what the LCD means. Here, did you get all that? Tells you what's the deal on everything on the LCD, of course. How to install the batteries, the basic functions, power off, M mode, multi-mode, touch flash, zoom setting, PC port, wireless flash system. Got a very nice sort of slicky, neoprene cover for the flash, little drawstring. That new flash smell. Got a little shoe for the flash right there. Finally in the box then, the flash unit. Has a nice piece of plastic covering it from the front and back. Avantek. The hot shoe attaches with a ring tightener. Very similar to how Yongnuo does it. Other physical parts of this flash. On the side here, you've got the PC port and a standard power port. You can get those power packs that hold like 6 or 8 AA's for 30 bucks or so. The fancy pants branded Canon ones are like 60 or 70, but I think for like 35 you can get an extra power pack that's got 8 more AA's in it. So it goes through those 8 AA's before it goes through the 4 in your flash. So if you're going to be out shooting with your flash for a long period of time, I really love having a power port on the side of my flashes. I'm no longer buying any flashes without power ports. Other side of the flash has the battery door opening. There we go. The battery door in the 580EX2 and I assume 600EXRT, it's got a little button that slides to the left and then you push down. There's springs underneath your batteries to kind of make this feel like it's springy. The battery door on the Yongnuo 562 that I have, the 563, and I assume the 564, I think they just came out with, doesn't have a button that presses over and then down, but the same kind of thing. You just kind of apply some pressure and push down on that. So on the Avantek, you kind of apply some pressure, push that down, and then this little hingy door flips open. There's little battery indicators in here, so I assume that plus means up. Interesting, they put an extra piece of protection on top of the screen here. Then there's also another screen protector of plastic over this screen. So, turn it on there. So when I show this screen, it's got some bubbles and scratches on it. It's just this plastic covering of the screen. I peeled it back and it's in perfect condition. Give it a little test fire. Most speed lights have a little diffuser card. That's how Canon's works, and you can not use you can just use the bounce card if you want, or you can pull this out and have that on there. Here's how Yongnuo works. It also pulls out like that, just like Canon. The bounce card doesn't want to stay up all the way. See, as I pull it all the way out and let go, it drops. I gotta believe that on the Canon, much more tension in there on the Canon. Professionals don't really use these little bounce cards that are internal to their flashes. They pop on a Rogue Flash Bender or a Gary Fong, or even those little white flash diffuser caps that sit on top. As I said, I don't see these being used that often, but if you do rely on this that's part of your flash, for some reason it's just kind of loose in here on the Avantek. I did a video comparison between the 580EX2 and the 562 by Yongnuo. They're so similar in their design. So the Avantek feels like a bit bigger, slightly bulkier flash than the Canon and the Yongnuo. The catch light panel and the wide angle diffuser, pretty standard stuff on flashes. The 580EX2 by Canon and the Avantek, about the same in trying to get those out. As you can see, comparing the Avantek to the 580EX2, the Avantek seems a little bigger. Maybe a little bit thicker, only by a little bit, and a little bit thicker in the body. The 562 by Yongnuo has that twist-on knob for tightening, so does the Avantek. I gotta say that I love the way Canon does their 580EX. They have this lovely little lock lever that's really easy to use and you feel like it's locked. I'm not a huge fan of the plastic ring tightener for flashes because that plastic gripping onto metal, you really have to use some torque with your fingers to get this securely on your top of your camera or on top of a radio trigger. They work. I just prefer the lovely weatherproof rubber latch of the Canon. The Yongnuo 600EXRT has that lovely latch on it too. So there's 4 things I really have come to expect and demand in a flash. TTL, high-speed sync, an external battery port, and the lever latch. I'm not gonna give demerits to Avantek. I'm sure that's expensive to produce. And perhaps Canon had a patent on that Yongnuo didn't seem to care about. Apparently in China, patent laws don't matter. Patent laws? Patent laws? I don't care about patent laws. The twist knob is quite capable. A couple of scratches in the bubbles that are in this. There's a little thing I peeled back to make sure the screen looked good, and then I put it back. So it's got a little screen cover on it. All right, let's go over the basic functions of the flash. Turn the unit to on here. We've got the mode setting button. Switch between ETTL, manual, multi-flash. So that's the mode. You've got a backlight button there. You can see that, it's turning a backlight on. There's a little sound note here to turn on and off the audio sound signal. Got a zoom button. Right now it's set on 24mm. So you hit zoom, both pressing these arrows up, down, or left and right, both change the amount of zoom. So you've got the button for the light, the button for the mode, the test fire button, That's shutter curtain, that's sound on and off, and there's your zoom. There's your switch to turn the flash on and off. This feels good. I like the size of the screen. 580EX2, about the same. About the same as well as on the Yongnuo. Little power indicator light there is very nice. So this is for cycle between the rear curtain and front curtain. I never use rear and front curtain. It has to do with having motion blur either ahead of or behind a moving object. Pressing the center of the joystick lets you jump into the adjustment of the flash power output. -2, it looks like it's in 1/3 stops, so -1, -1 1/3, -2/3, -2. So you can set the Canon and Yongnuo flashes to never turn off. This one says it has a 60-minute shut off. Holding down the zoom button, and then you can set the two channels and 3 slave banks. And unfortunately, this is only a slave unit, like the Yongnuo 562 and 3. The Avantek cannot be a master, so it can only function as a slave. There's the focus assist, see that? Compared to Yongnuo, the buttons on the Avantek feel pretty solid. I don't have any complaints about the feeling of the buttons or anything like that. Buttons on the Canon are kind of recessed a bit, but they obviously feel pretty solid. This was a $550 flash at one point. I believe the Avantek retails for 100 and change. I'll put the price up on the screen. Got my Canon. Open this up a little bit. One interesting thing. This is the Yongnuo in my left hand and the Avantek in my right hand. I like that the Yongnuo has cut off edges for the side of the flash that does not go into your hot shoe first. So this side goes in first, and you know this side does not. I have done that before. I've stuck a flash in backwards. But the thing with the Avantek, it's square. But hey, just put the screen back towards you and the infrared side of your flash forward, and you know you're doing that right. So I'm gonna tighten this. As I said, the plastic tightening rings, you gotta get in here and tighten that nice and tight. This feels pretty good, just hand tightening this. Canon, as you know, has a button on the side that you need to press in order to start moving your flash head around. It locks it in place. You have to hold that button. Some people like that, some people don't. Canon has a full range on the 580EX2 anyway. Canon has an entirely full range of motion, 360 degrees around. The other thing nice about Canon is it has the ability to dip down a little bit. That extra little bit of dip is nice. The Yongnuo does not have a button. You just start rotating it, and it's the same thing with the Avantek's flash. You just basically start moving this and rotating it. I don't know why flash manufacturers put something that looks like a button on the side when there isn't actually a button to press. I think it's weird. Just make that flat, because it looks like there's a button that needs to be pressed. There's even 3 little finger grip knobs on there. Maybe that's just to feel it. Maybe they just think you easily grab a flash by that area. Yongnuo is really bad. That looks like a button, doesn't it? So does that. I feel like you're supposed to press something. Canon has the word push on it, so I know it's a button. It says push. Range of motion. Yep. 270 degrees, not 360. Did I say that right? 270. It goes around to the left. It goes all the way around and back on the right, but it does not have a full range of motion, 360 degrees all the way around. Yongnuo is the same way, but in the opposite direction. Yongnuo goes to the right only 90 degrees. It does a full 180 back through the left side. Canon, once you press the button, full 360. wall bouncing. So it's nice that the Canon has a complete 360-degree range of the flash head turning. There's never a wall I can't bounce off of. The cheaper flashes don't have a full 360, but they're cheaper. You know, these guys were, in the case of the Yongnuo, these are $70, and I believe the Avantek's 100 to 110 or so. A lot of times Pro will just stick a light bender or a Gary Fong on here and just go bam, 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 and not worry about where their walls are so much. But if you're trying to compose your picture and you're definitely bouncing it off a ceiling or a wall to your left or right, the ability to rotate 360 degrees with the flash head is really nice, but you pay for it. I'm sorry, but you pay for it. All right, I'm gonna play with this a little bit more and then I'll wrap up the video. Feels like it's a good flash. I feel like I like the quality of it. My really only complaint has been with the bounce card being a little wobbly, but I honestly don't really use those cards that much. I mount a Rogue flash bender or a Gary Fong product on here. This being one of those sort of universal Gary Fong like products. These are pretty cheap, like 15 to 20 bucks or so, where the Fongs are 49. This has been the Avantek electronic flash. It retails for that much. Do come to my blog and check out my posts on dslrnerd.com in addition to watching my video on YouTube, because I often will put additional information or other comments into my blog post that I might have left out of my video or that I might have added in weeks later after using the product a bit more. Thank you for Avantek for sending me this for review. Check out my blog at dslrnerd.com, subscribe to my channel, and as always, thank you for watching.